this presentation will be...
Hold on, then start from the beginning. There we go.
Hello, and thank you for coming to my presentation, Basics of First Aid and CPR by Naquita Melton. Hey.
Oh, I'm doing all
Are
right.
you okay?
Oh,
Are you okay?
I'm doing all right. Hey, you, are you okay? Are you okay? I have no pulse. Hey, you, go call 911 and get an AED.
I'll do it.
Everybody has compressions.
All right. I'm glad to see y'all all jumped into action and would participate if this was a real life situation. You're welcome.
Oh, she's practicing saying.
We appreciate you. You can have some candy for your efforts.
You go, Michelle. You did that. Where's your Oscar? Bro.
But this presentation will be over just the basics of first aid and CPR. Does anyone know the definition of basic first aid? Can anyone tell me? Well,
Keeping them from
the
dying.
simplest one is it's to provide immediate but temporary care for a casualty who is ill or injured. And then up here on the board or on your handouts that you have is another definition. But basic first aid can be the difference between life or death. It can help save a life. All right, now we're going to move on to the 3 P's of first aid. I don't know if any of you learned that, but it's the aims to help you kind of remember 3 simple steps for first aid, and they are preserve, prevent, and promote. And then we will start with preserve, and we will start with preserve, and it just is for preserving your life or theirs by making sure there's no danger and clearing the area, and make sure there's nothing hazardous. And then after you make sure that the scene is clear of any danger, then you want to begin with the ABCs of first aid, which is checking their airway, making sure they're breathing, checking any circulation. And after that, we will move on to the second P. Oh, sorry, I forgot I had examples of preserving life, which is controlling bleeding, maintaining airway, or performing CPR when needed, which would be when there's no pulse, which we used in our example, which was really good. But the second P, prevent injuries. This is when you use your brain and your skills and you jump into action just like Heather did, which she did a great job. And you want to figure out how to stop the condition from worsening or to how to stop any deterioration. And that's what you can do to prevent injuries. Again, move the person away from danger if there's any and if you're able. Okay, and then we move on to the last P, which is promote recovery, which is you call 911 yourself or you get someone to call 911 and you do what you can until emergency personnel arrives. And just basic first aid can be something that can significantly help any long-term issues, help save a life, like I said. And then we are going to move on to the basics of CPR, which stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Does anybody know the simplest way to describe the meaning of basic CPR?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a life-saving technique used in emergencies. But again, I just have some short information over that. And then here's a mnemonic to remember, Dr. ABC. Yes, Bill, Dr. ABC.
That's a big word. She did that.
And it starts with the D, which is for danger, check the scene, and then R for response, see if they're responsive or unresponsive. Make sure there's nothing obstructing the airway, make sure they're breathing, and if not, start those compressions. Alright, and here I just have a short video over hands-only CPR.
Yes, kind of. If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, the first thing you do is...
Call 911.
And the second thing you do is...
Push hard and fast in the center of the chest at a rate of at least 100 beats per minute.
Who even knows what 100 beats per minute sounds like?
Well, you got down on the way,
because you got the band.
Remember, it's only 2 steps. Call 911.
And push hard and fast in the center of the chest to the beat of Staying Alive until help arrives.
Alright, and that's the end of the video. And I actually think that's a great way for just people who need basic CPR. This is a great video to show them where all they have to do is remember call 911 and then push hard and fast in the middle of the chest on the sternum to the beat of Staying Alive. How fun is that? And that's, like I said, a good way for them to remember. And then here's just something else. When it comes to first aid, the ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation, and the ABCs of CPR, airway, breathing, and compressions. Now, hands-only CPR can save lives, and CPR can more than double a person's chance of survival. Now, because basically arrived, you can help save a life and be the difference between life and death. And then just a quick review, a simple aim to the basics of first aid is the 3 P's. Preserve, which is preserve life, prevent any injuries, and promote, which is promote recovery. And then for CPR, it's a life-saving technique, very helpful in emergencies. And if you can remember the mnemonic Dr. ABC, D for danger, R for response, A for airway, B for breathing, and C for compressions. Start that hands-only CPR, staying alive. All right, now I just have a few questions, so I hope that you will participate. Crystal, how would you check a victim for responsiveness?
Ask them if they can hear me, or shake them.
All right, that's what I would do. Good job. And let's see, Tasha, when you do, or where do you position your hands when administering chest compressions?
The center of the chest.
Yes.
They're going to say right above the xiphoid process in between the 2 nipples.
And if you were watching the video, you want to do that hard and fast, right in the middle of the chest, and hopefully to the beat of Staying Alive.
At 3/4 of
Staying
one,
alive.
at 1 inch to 1.5 inch depth.
And Heather, after dialing 911 to report a cardiac arrest, what would you do?
High quality CPR.
All right.
That's what we always would say in our classes. High
That's
quality.
all I have for y'all today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned, or it helped you remember some things. But since y'all in the healthcare, I know you're all great at what you do, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go, girl. You go to Queen.